baseball card in Korean, 야구 카드.
In Mexico, baseball card es una cartita.
Baseball card in Japanese is baseball card or yaku card.
Baseball cards in papiamento is cachi de baseball.
In Spanish, you say baseball card like this. Carta de pelota.
Baseball card en español es baseball card.
Hello and welcome to MLB's Carded. Today we've got my friend and Mets legend Ron Darling on the show. We also have a story about baseball cards finding their way onto the ice in the NHL. But first up, Carded correspondent Alex Jaimo is on the scene at PSA to get some inside info about the hobby's leading grading company.
Hi everyone, I'm at the PSA grading facility here in Jersey City, joined by Collector's CEO, Mr. Nat Turner. Nat, it's so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
No.
How did things get started here?
Yeah, it's been, let's see, since 1991, started as just trading cards. Really because dealers back in the day were grading the cards themselves at shows. A third-party authenticator was needed, and PSA has grown to be the biggest division.
You've been a collector your entire life.
Yeah, brought some things. So these are not graded, ironically, but these are the first two cards I ever got. My dad gave me those. It's 1975 Topps, number 660, Hank Aaron. That's the next year's highlights card. It's probably worth $3, but that's what got it all started for me. So here's Griffey. So there's 1989. That's his rookie card from Bowman, and that's actually the Tiffany version. So that's a PSA 10. So that's Jim Mint. It means the centering's perfect, the corners are perfect, everything's perfect on it. So here's another modern card. So that's Mike Trout. In 1914, and then they did it in 1915 too, the Cracker Jack Company produced baseball cards.
These are art.
They really are. There's Nolan Ryan's.
My dad has a couple of these.
Yeah?
I'm gonna bring them to you to get graded.
That's a 9. There's only 1 10 in the world.
1?
Yeah.
Now, why were these so hard to 10?
The centering from this way to that way is always tough. So there's a Mickey Mantle card.
There's our guy.
That's a 9. There is no 10 of that card.
Wow. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the grading process, because I'm here, I have to do it. You need a card to grade though. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I got a number card.
Ooh, nice.
Grissom.
Awesome. Auto looks pretty good too. Corners look all right.
I love the photography.
Like, not gonna grade it yet, so we're gonna grade it.
I struggle with this a lot. Best way to protect your card.
The standard is to use, we call these penny sleeves. These are soft Mylar plastic. You always put the card in one of those first, regardless of what you put it in next. And then the next thing we prefer at PSA is something called a Card Saver 1. Kind of get your index finger to keep it open.
Okay.
You slide one corner in, and then you take your finger out, and then you just squeeze it so it allows the card to go in.
There it is.
And that card can't really move inside that holder. That's the right way to submit to any grading company.
Awesome.
I got your boy Grissom again.
There you go.
Chrome.
Is that a refractor?
That's the
chrome.
It's the chrome version.
Going yard. There he is, Jordan.
It's a beautiful card.
There's 2 autos,
Yeah.
I believe, in the box, so
We're gonna
hit one, and let's see if you can find the other one.
All right, you got a serial numbered Cruise.
Adley Rutschman.
If you find it, I'm gonna be so mad. No, I'm busy. Got it. There it is.
Who is it?
All right, we got Zach Thompson. So we got about 5 or 6 cards worth grading, I think.
Let's do a recap of our hits, though. Let's start with the banger. Vaughn Grissom, rookie auto. Vaughn Grissom chrome.
We got Zach Thompson, hope he's watching. We got a Alvarez going yard parallel, unnumbered. We got O'Neill Cruz, Virtuosos of Velocity.
And that's numbered, right?
Numbered to 99. And then we got a Jackie Robinson Triumvirates insert card.
Love that.
Die cut.
I'm excited. You're gonna give us a look at the process?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we're here with Daniel. You're the pro. How do we get started here, man?
We go one at a time. We pull them out from the card holder, slowly pull them out of the sleeve. Take a look at the card first for corners. The lamps are specific for us to capture any dents, any print lines, scratches that we might miss with normal lights. Check for how it looks eye appeal wise. If the nameplate was shifted down, the logos were shifted too far to the edge, then I would dock for that. I do finagle the card against the light to check for any print line scratches, dents.
So is it harder for you to grade when the cards come in, you know, right out of the gate?
In terms of newer cards, they are actually more crisp than the older ones, so they are easier to grade in that sense. The only problem is when it comes to centering, because if we're unsure of what the borders are, because they're new products.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a Vaughn Grissom, let's say 10 other submissions to PSA that same card, do you look at the grades that you gave to those other cards to compare this one to, or no? So every card comes in.
Grade the card in front of you.
I like it.
We do have software to make sure the card's real. We do have photos of every card that's ever been submitted, and we use millions of those photos to compare against new cards. And then now we do things like centering, so the software will say 50-50 top, bottom, front, back. The system can actually calculate it for you.
There's another department called PSA DNA, and they check the condition of the auto. If the customer wanted both an auto grade and a grade on the card, then you would see double grades on the actual encasement.
And how do you grade an auto? Like the player signing it. What makes an auto good or bad?
A lot of times it's the boldness, just because the player's going really fast. Or towards the end of a print run, like if he's signing 100 cards, the last 10, maybe the Sharpie's running out. The other thing we see is if the mark goes off the side of the card, that also docks it.
All right, Daniel, it's all in your hands. All right?
All right,
We'll
cool.
see you when you're done.
All right, sounds good.
All right, it's the moment of truth. Got my cards back with their fancy grades. Let's check it out. Zach Thompson auto. All right, it's a 9. O'Neal Cruz, another 9. Jordan Alvarez going yard, 10. Woo! Jackie Robinson, better be, yes! Only a 10 for Jackie. Adley and Gunner, 9 on the Adley, and a 9 on the Gunner. A 9 on the Vaughn Grissom auto. Out of 50. That is a nice pull, people. And a 10 out of the Chrome. That's pretty sick right there. Thank you so much, PSA, Nat Turner. You guys are the best. I had so much fun.
Number 12, pitcher, Ron Darling.
0-2. Got
And welcome back to Carded. It's always fun to talk to the players who are on the baseball cards about their love of baseball cards. That's what I'm doing now with my friend Ron Darling. Ron, good to see you. Do you know how we know here at Carded that you love baseball cards? We watch the Mets broadcast, and you and your former teammate and broadcast partner, Keith Hernandez, talk about your love of baseball cards all the time. When did that start?
Well, there's a method to the madness. When it's a really bad game, the producer will literally say in our ear, he goes, break out the baseball cards. So they'll break out the baseball cards in a 15-5 game, and they'll put them out there. And between Gary Cohen, our play-by-play guy, Keith, and I, there's like this 6 degrees of separation, because Gary's known them from covering them all 35 years that he's been doing play-by-play, and Keith and I just either played with them or played against them.
So was it a hobby at all when you were a kid?
Huge. I'm probably dating myself here, but my age of guys used to play a game called Flip. And with cards, and you toss them against the wall. If you cover a guy's card, you took that card. If it ended up being a leanie or a leaner, you could knock it down, you get 2 cards. You used to put in a spike of your bicycle, right,
yeah,
and ride around. And it also was, I mean, I'm not sure if it's like Pokemon now, but it was you had some street cred if you went around and walked with like a pile of baseball cards.
Now, as the baseball card nerd that I am, I'm thinking about how many amazing cards you damaged playing that game.
I know,
over the years,
right? I mean, you think everything is a collectible now. We didn't think anything was a collectible then. We were just trying to while away some hours.
Yeah, so if there was a card when you were a little Ron, what was the player's card you wanted to have as a child?
Well, I fell in love with baseball in 1967, and it was the Impossible Dream year for the Boston Red Sox. Yaz was my favorite player, but the guy that I think of everyone I grew up with, when we think of the Red Sox and that Impossible Dream year was Tony Conigliaro.
Yeah.
Because he's from Massachusetts. So all of us kids that were aspiring baseball players were like, well, if Tony C did it, then we could do it.
So when you saw the Ron Darling rookie card, growing up a lover of baseball and baseball cards, what was that moment like when you saw it for the first time?
Well, there were really 2 things as an athlete that you aspired yourself to be on. One was the Sports Illustrated cover. If you could ever make that, then you had made it completely. But as a baseball player, you always wanted that baseball card. You wanted that first one. And I'll tell you why, and this is really embarrassing, but most baseball players, when they are little kids, will take a baseball card of their favorite person and they'll practice their autograph on it in case, and someday, they're a baseball player, and they can kind of write their name and see what it looks like as an autograph.
Did you do that?
Of course I did. And it never really fit. And I had to kind of work on it a little bit. And then when I signed my first one, I was like, well, I'm ready for this.
So now, I've heard you still go to signing sessions. Why do you do that?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, when I first started going to card shows, for ball players like me of my generation, it was a way to augment your income. And now I do them because I think I feel not obligated, but I think it's important. The '86 team was an important team as far as the history of baseball, and a lot of the things I sign when I go to those shows are '86 memorabilia with all the players on it, and you pick your place where you're supposed to sign. And I know that it's not really valuable unless all the players sign it. So it's fun. And then when I'm asked by anyone in the public to sign anything nowadays, it's always sign it and put 1986 World Series champions.
So I'm picturing you sitting at these card shows and people are bringing up all of these Ron Darling cards. Is there a card that every time you see it, you're like, oh no? And is there a card on the flip side you're like, I love this card. Yeah, I'll give you a good signature for this one.
My favorite is there's one where I am following through, and it must be in between innings because it doesn't look like I'm putting a lot of effort to it, but I can tell that it's Dodger Stadium in the background, one of my favorite parks to pitch in, and I just look like this is the greatest windup that ever happened in the game. So I love the way I look following through on the pitch. So I always love signing that card. The one I hate, I pitch a 2-hit shutout at Fenway Park in an Oakland A's uniform. But the last play of the game is a ground ball to the right of Mark McGwire. He dives for it, makes a great play, but bounces the throw to first base. I dive, I scoop it, I tag the base, shutout, A's win, this is amazing. The baseball card shows me on all fours getting up after diving for the baseball with Fenway Park in the background, a place that I grew up in Boston or Massachusetts. Love that place. The only picture I have is me on all fours trying to get to my feet with the green monster in the background.
Unreal, like the most unathletic pose possible.
It looks like someone just knocked me down and they took a picture. It's just crazy.
So do you react every time you see that card if someone gives it to you at a card show?
I mean, I don't know what I do, but if anyone got a camera on me, I'm sure it looks like this. Not this again.
And you know what's great? You know what's great, Ron? We actually do have a camera on you. We went to a card show with this guy, Ron Darling. Coming up after the break, you'll see what these card shows look like from his side of the table. That's next on Carded. Thanks again to Ron Darling for spending some time here in the studio. As if that wasn't enough, he let us tag along at a local card show. Here's a look at what it's like from the other side of the signing table.
Hi everybody, we thought this might be fun. A lot of people talk about card shows or go to card shows, and I'm doing one today. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you what goes on at these card shows. Follow me. This is one of our friends. He's a big Alonso fan. Before a person goes public, meaning they go in front of the fans and sign the autographs, there's always this backroom stuff. Vendors who have their private stuff, and I'm going to a place where I'm going to sign my stuff. In my lifetime, there's been the emergence of the bobblehead. And the players will tell you it's the hardest thing to sign because there's not a lot of room. The thing I see most often now is that almost everything I sign has all the players from the '86 team, and it's always that theme. Great team, that won a world championship. People, I think, covet that. All the memories of those teammates of players come flooding back, which is fun. There's an inverse correlation to signing a ball. The cheaper the pen, the better it writes on the ball, for some reason. I'm looking at a card that we're going to sign here, and what comes to mind? Okay, well, one, it's pretty bushy hair. Could have done a better job with a haircut. This jacket that all players wore, especially in spring training, we used to call it the heart attack jacket. And the reason we did is because when you wore it, it would make you sweat 5 times more than you usually did. The players in my day didn't always come in perfect shape, so there might have been 10 or 15 pounds that needed to lose, and the heart attack Mizuno jacket was the best jacket to wear. You see a lot of pictures when you're young and vibrant. You're reminded of it all the time, and sometimes you'd rather not be. So now we're going to, I'm going to go public, which means we're going to go in front of the fans, and hopefully there's a line. Because the worst thing that can happen is you get and sit down in the public, and there's no one waiting for you.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
This is my 1984 Topps Ron Darling card. I can't wait to get it signed.
I've had this car since '86. I've been waiting to get it signed ever since.
I see this card all the time. You know what I think about? I think about seeing this card. Good follow through. I love signing bats, but I always sign it in the label where the bat breaks if you hit the ball there, because I spent a lifetime as a hitter hitting the ball there. This is the only picture in '86 that I have in my library. This picture, pretty great year.
So he signed the card, and it was a really great experience. Hey, looks great. Try not to smudge it, trying to get it in without being in a corner, and I think we did a great job. He's a super nice guy.
New York Mets fans, I've had a lifelong friendship with them, and they treat me so great. The connection to the fans is probably more important as I've gotten older and become an announcer as opposed to a player, and I cherish it. I appreciate it.
Cards at a card show makes perfect sense, but sometimes you can find cards in the strangest places. If you caught the NHL's 2024 Winter Classic in Seattle, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, then this next story will definitely get you up to speed.
Stopped by DeCord. Oh, he's robbed! Wow! Joey DeCord with the first Winter Classic shutout.
I can remember watching Sidney Crosby play against the Buffalo Sabres in the first ever Winter Classic 15, 16 years ago, and just thinking that was the coolest thing in the world, and just getting the opportunity to play in the NHL, and then let alone such a big stage like that. Playing in a baseball stadium, I'll never forget walking out of the dugout for the first time and seeing 50,000 people. Probably one of the best days of my life, so it's pretty special. Well, the mask, obviously, I was thrilled with, and my whole look for the game I was super excited about. So my mask painter, Shifty, he's out of California. I initially threw out, hey, I want to do a Mariners mask. To have a baseball card mask was like just an amazing opportunity, and he brought that up, and as soon as he mentioned it, I was like, let's do it.
I can't take all the credit as the artist. I got to give him some of the credit because he trusts my wild ideas. And I'm like, if you didn't trust my wild, crazy ideas, we wouldn't be sitting here. Getting the actual cards on the mask, we thought that would be pretty rad.
One of the cool things I love about this mask is just like the cards themselves. Like this card of Cal Raleigh, like I didn't understand that there was a card of his famous pinch hit walk-off home run. That card's on my mask, and I'm like, well, that's really cool. So this Ken Griffey card, I didn't know beforehand, but now I know that if we didn't put this card on there, it would have been a big issue. So I'm thankful we went that way. So we have Ken Griffey, we have Ichiro, Edgar Martinez. There were a couple other players that I'm sure I'm missing a few that were in the mix, but there was only so much room. So these are kind of like the legends. We wanted to do 3 legends. And then in terms of the other side, we wanted to do 3 current players. So here we have J.P. Crawford, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez. Actually, Cal was in town after the game, so if you see right here, I invited him to the next game. We played against Ottawa after the Winter Classic and invited him down to the locker room after the game, and then he came and signed it. We were hoping that it would kind of make waves in the hockey community, but we didn't expect it to make such big waves outside of that in the baseball community, the trading card community.
Usually when something like this goes on and you do a specialty mask or whatever, you kind of stay within the hockey market. That's the people that see it. That's the people that get excited about it. With this one, we're talking hockey, card collectors, baseball fans. It went way bigger than what we ever thought. You don't expect it. So when it happens, it just becomes so, you just almost got to pinch yourself like, is this really going on?
It's just been awesome, and something that I'm really grateful for is all the recognition that it got and how much fun it's been. It's been a kind of a circus and a whirlwind, I guess you could say, since then, so it's been a lot of fun.
Tom Brady, it's your boy Meek Mill.
DeMar Hamlin. Darryl Strawberry. Yo, it's Anthony Richardson.
Bryce Young. We out here in Arizona at Hobby Night, man. Everybody go.
Let's have a day, baby.
Chipper Jones right here, Meek Mill right here. Look at this crowd. The energy is fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. My favorite player.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's score!
I'll be over there trading some cards. If you got some good cards, trade them with me.
Rip Night is a great opportunity for me and for everyone just to be able to connect with fans, connect with people, be around the community, and have fun.
I'm Steve Aoki, and it's a wrap on Topps Hobby Rip Night.
And that was a little taste of Topps 2024 Hobby Rip Night. Local shops all over the country participate, so check in with Topps to find out the next event near you. I'm going to do a little ripping of my own with 2024 Series 1s, while you check out a rip from the Hall of Fame's newest inductees. Get your own packs of Series 1s by scanning the QR code and be on the lookout for more episodes of MLB's Carded. I can't wait for this. I've been looking for a really nice Bobby Witt for a while. Ooh, Yanier Cano, maybe best setup man in game. Patrick Bailey, young catcher. Tyler Wells of the O's. Kirilloff, Patrick Corbin. I love David Schneider. Rookie card David Schneider, one of the best mustaches in the game.
So I got a couple packs of Topps 2006. I'm going to open them up and see who we got.
So I got here Juan Encarnacion, who's able to throw the ball really hard with one finger. Amazing. I don't know how he did it, but he did.
Kenny Rogers, lefty, Texas. Faced Kenny quite a bit. He was a crafty lefty, and he was always coming up with different ways to get you out. Melvin Mora, he could put the bat on the ball, it seemed like any time that he wanted, but yeah, good player.
So Mickey Mantle, I played with him.
Oh, here you go, Ryan Klesko. I played against Ryan a lot when he was in San Diego. Great guy. He could hit the ball, and he had some great power, and he hit the ball the other way pretty good too.
Nook Logan. Nook Logan was probably one of the fastest base runners that have ever played the game. Unbelievable talent.
Okay, let me open another one. I got here Jack Wilson. I got lucky to play with this guy. Jack was one of the best hands I ever seen defensively.
We got the whole Minnesota Twins squad right here, so I'll have to see my my own mug on here. Nicky Punto jumps out at me. Great teammate. Lou Ford. There's a guy enjoyed too.
Well, there's Tony La Russa. He was fun to play against. His guys played the way I like to play, and I like my teammates to play.
Andy Pettit with the Astros this year. Saw him quite a bit with the Yankees. Always a tough day. It was game 3 of the 2009 postseason, and it was a tie ball game, and I ended up hitting an RBI single off of him. And in the Metrodome back then, we raised the curtain in right field, so we had over 60,000 fans, screaming fans in the Metrodome, so the noise just couldn't go anywhere. He told me that that was one of the loudest environments he's ever been in, and I thought that was pretty cool.